What's interesting is back to a personal experience is you just gather evidence as you go throughout your life, like with the four vehicles around you that were all yellow. I know there's times when something comes up in one of our meetings and you will document that, write it down, ask us to send information about it. And that's just the way you live. And it's an ongoing, it's like life is your laboratory. That's my experience of you.
That's interesting that life is my laboratory, because in the book, The Sacred Promise, I used the term that I called self-science, which is where we apply the scientific method to the laboratories of our personal lives. And the beauty of using aspects that we learn from science, and science comes from the French skier, which simply means to know. It's just ways of better knowing and making sense of the things around us, is that synchronicity research is really cheap. Like, you don't even have to buy anything, because normally, especially now that almost everyone has a smartphone, which has got audio and it's got texting, and you can talk to Siri and immediately have it record things, and you can take photographs. And so it's very easy to document events when they occur. Second, you don't have to get human subjects committee. There are no federal government issues involved. And as long as, of course, you're respecting, personal privacy and so on, it's the kind of, quote, science that any of us could do. And it's really fun, because the universe, as far as I can tell, once you entertain the idea that there is some sort of universal consciousness, infinite intelligence, in Native Americans call Great Spirit, Judeo-Christians call God, divinity, whatever word once you recognize this level of consciousness as a foundation for everything, and that everything is a part of it, it's not surprising that its sense of humor is going to be at least as great as ours. And that if we enjoy playfulness and animals enjoy playfulness, you can be darn sure that it's highly probable that the divine is even more playful than we are, and it likes to play with us. So it's a very viable hypothesis to I think to enjoy the process. And I think that's, by the way, one of the characteristics of people like me who have so many synchronicities, is it's not only because we're open to looking, and we pay attention to patterns and then ponder whether they have meaning or not, and be cautious about jumping to conclusions about them, but because we so enjoy them and relish them, that there's so much a gift of life, that I think that Rhonda calls it, my beloved, she calls it the continuity of encouragement from divinity.